to talk more about my big announcement I made a little bit earlier. And that is that I'm going to have 4 different options for you to be able to really help you and help your business and help you individually to make a better either business or life or kind of work on some different things. So let me give you each option. I'm going to give you my background, my expertise before I just say that I want to do something. I'm not just, pulling it out of the air anywhere. So let's go ahead and look at that. So let's look at the very first one. The first one is training, and that is my background and my master's degree is in training development. I've worked in training programs, I've built training programs, I've written training programs. And so for me, this is a good opportunity for me to work with either a company or individuals or people that need training done to really sit down and build that out. My goal is to probably do the build out and then hand that off to someone in your company to help you continue that training. Maybe work with coaching and other like mentoring and being able to make sure that that happens, because again, once that occurs, I want you to have that available to you so that I'm not looking at it as a chance to be in permanently. I'm coming in to teach and to let you guys be engaged. But then ultimately, it is your ecosystem, it is your universe, it is your control, and I want you to have that. So for me, training and development is allowing me to create trainings for you that will be specific and will guide you through the process and look at all the different options, who your stakeholders are, the goals you have, and making sure that they're effective in what you're trying to do. And then maybe do a follow up later on and we can assess that and see if it worked or not. If it didn't, we can find out why not. If it does, we can find out how we can amplify that and get you more opportunities. The second thing is a public policy or policy training. The wonderful thing about that is I've been involved in the political world in the United States since I was 16 years old. I am 48 years old. So ultimately for 32 years, I've been involved in the political world, starting out from working at a precinct and headquarters and campaigning on the local, state, and federal level. I have a lot of background. My undergraduate is in political science and specifically in public policy and government and constitutional law and international relations. I've got all kinds of things available there. I've run for office. I've worked in advocacy in several different organizations. I serve on boards that are dealing with advocacy, and I'm well versed in everything that's happening at the state level and the federal government as well. The opportunity there is the fact that I can teach you about the process. So just a basic introduction about what is the process, how does it work, how does it function, and how can you benefit from it. The next thing that I could do is I also can build relationships. That is an important part of what we do. Why? Because we have to look at our federal delegation, our local delegation, our state delegation. City politics sometimes can be the most important thing that you do. So again, how do you work within those systems? What do you create? What kind of advocacy does that look like? Is it relationship building? Is it the opportunity for you to get your point across, whether you're an individual, an organization, or a company? It is very, very important that you are making your voice heard and your voice known right now, especially because there are people that are new that are going in and they're going to be looking for guidance. One of the ways that advocacy is important is you are the expert. You are the subject expert. You are the person that they're going to go to look to for information. And the way that we can do that is set you up by creating those platforms and teaching your people and your organization or your association how to do that. So I've got wonderful opportunities to do that. We can talk about the training under there or that availability. The next area that I'm looking at, again, there's 4, is customer service. Now this is a little bit different, and I've worked in retail environment, I've worked in nonprofit environments, I've worked in business environments, I've worked in a whole bunch of different environments. And so that customer service and that touch point is very important. I went through the training at Dell. I didn't stay at Dell, but I went through the training at Dell, so that was fascinating to learn about the different ways that call centers utilize their employment. It is a phenomenal thing to know what your customers want, what they need, and then give it to them. Because when you do that, guess what? They love your business. It's when they feel undervalued or maybe that they didn't get the experience that they wanted. One of the other things I am going to do, and this is particularly in the state of Oklahoma and in central Oklahoma at this point, is I'm going to do what they call a customer experience audit. What does that mean? That means that I will be able to come into your business and walk in and do a customer experience audit. From the point that I hit the door, what do I see? What do I hear? When I'm looking around, what am I feeling? The experience of walking through that business. It will be tiered. Why? Because if it is a small business, it'll be $250. If it is a medium-sized business, it'll be 500, and if it is a large business, it'll be $1,000. That's a chance for me to just come in and do a quick audit. As a bonus, I will do a very, very basic social media check to give you some recommendations on your social media profile, see if it is fitting what it is that you're trying to get across, looking at basic things like that. This is not in depth, that will be very basic, but a chance for me to just add that as a value to you if you do one of my customer experience audits. On the customer service side, if you want to just deal with how to treat a customer, the ways that you will experience connecting with your customers, how can you connect quickly, because that's an important part. And then marketing and branding and all the things that go with that and what it looks like. And the fact that it looks different now than it did even, 5-10 years ago. We're really looking at how do you create that opportunity. The last part, which is one of my very favorite things and something I've done for quite a while, and that is life coaching. In case you don't know, I worked with over, at this point, probably 10,000 close to students over the last, let's see now, almost 15 years, 14 years. So since 2010, I taught a lot of students about adulthood, about learning how to become adults, about time management, stress management, prioritizing relationships, healthy relationships, spirituality, all the different ways that you can embody that and identify that in yourself and create opportunities for you to just become who you are and what you want to become, and then express that and teach that to others. Because I think that is a main thing that we are all looking for right now, is who are we, what do we want, and then how do we explain that to someone else. And this part of what I do, I can do individualized opportunities. I can do online opportunities if you want me to do it that way. But again, it will be a level of what kind of coaching that we're looking at. This I love. Why? Because I can deal with risk assessment. I can deal with, whether you should be risky. Some companies and some people should be risky. Some should be a little bit less risky. Some we can deal with fear and faith, and we can do all these opportunities that we have available to you to say, let's open that up and open those conversations and begin them. I want to be clear. All of these things are just different ways that I can bring value to you and your company. So what we'll need to do, the way that will work is, if you want this particular service, you will need to send me a message with which part of it, whether it's training, policy, customer service, or life coaching. Give me the size of the company or organization I'd be looking at working with, kind of your general idea of what your goal is, your overarching goal, and then I would sit and develop a particular plan. When I develop that plan, I will also develop a quote that goes with that and send that back to you and let you know the cost of what it would cost, and then we can have that agreement set up and put into writing and make sure that we can walk through it. Does that mean, big question, does that mean I'm not going to be on YouTube anymore? No. Does that mean that you can't get 1 minute increments of things that I have on there? No, you still can do that. So this is a particular thing that I'm doing individually with you in person, either in person or via Zoom or online on one of the online platforms, so that we can have a more one-on-one back and forth conversation and discussion versus what I consider one-way communication, where I'm telling someone to an audience. There's comments, which I appreciate all of you guys that are commenting. Thank you so much. I really do. And then at the same time, though, it allows me the opportunity to go ahead and meet with you and guide you and give you inspiration and support and mentorship, which I think is also very important, because just doing this alone is very difficult. Doing it by yourself is difficult. So the ways that we can help one another is by guiding and helping and being there for each other, and we can build a community around that, and that is very, very important. So if you're interested in any of these 4 areas, again, that is training, policy, customer service, or life coaching, please reach out to me, and then we'll start building that back and forth. Again, my original in-person, like where I go and visit, is probably in the central Oklahoma area, within about 30 to 50 miles of Norman, Oklahoma. Outside of that, we need to talk about different ways that that can occur. Obviously, if it went out of state, we have to have bigger conversations. But I want to go ahead and just let you know that this is available to you. It's part of my brand. Future Growth and Vision is a huge part of it, which is you got to know what your future is, what is your growth plan, and then what is your vision and how to achieve it. That is why I'm named Future Vision and Growth. So hopefully you've got a lot out of this. You kind of have an idea, you're getting excited, and we can kind of move to the next steps. So I look forward to working with you. Again, my name is Derek Jensen, and I run this organization, and I have enjoyed building it and branding it. This is my next step. So see you soon.